Ladies and gentlemen, I want to speak to you today about something that will transform your life. A woman of God does not chase men. You see, there is a world that tells you to chase after love, to make yourself known, to fight for attention. But let me tell you something, you do not need to chase what is already yours in God's plan. When you understand your worth, when you truly know who you are, you won't have to chase anything at all. A woman of God knows her identity. Her worth is not in a man's gaze or approval. It is in the one who created her, who called her by name. She is valuable because she is his. She does not seek validation from fleeting relationships because her identity is rooted in the love of a father who sees her as his treasure. When you know who you are, you stop looking to others to tell you your worth. God's timing is perfect. We live in a world that tells us to make things happen on our own. But a woman of God knows that her life is not a series of random events, it is divinely orchestrated. Trusting in God's timing means believing that the right relationships will come, not because you chased them, but because they were ordained by God. There is no need to hurry, to force, or to settle. When you trust God with your timing, He will bring the right person at the perfect time. Now, a woman of God walks in confidence, not the confidence that comes from flashy clothes or a pretty smile, but the kind that comes from knowing you are loved beyond measure, that you are whole, and that you are enough. When you walk with that confidence, you don't chase, you attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right relationships will be drawn to you. Confidence doesn't need to chase, it radiates. True love, hear me on this, finds you. Love is not something you have to hunt down. It is not something you have to beg for. When you are aligned with God's plan, love will find you. The right man, the right relationship will find its way into your life in God's perfect timing. And when it does, it will be a love that is built on a firm foundation, not on the instability of chasing after something that isn't meant for you. A woman of God guards her heart. She does not give it away freely to anyone who comes along. She understands that not every person is meant to be a part of her journey. When you are constantly chasing after someone, you open your heart to things that don't belong there. Guard your heart. Let God protect it until the right person comes who will cherish it as much as He does. Respect, this is a big one. A woman of God knows that respect cannot be chased. Respect is earned. When you find your worth in God, you no longer need to seek validation from the world. You no longer need to chase affection or attention. You stand in your truth, and when you walk in that, people will respect you. You won't have to beg for it. You will demand it, not with words, but with the way you carry yourself. Finally, I want to leave you with this: trust God with your future. When you stop chasing and start trusting, you open yourself to a life of peace and fulfillment. The right relationships, the right path, the right man, God has already planned them. You don't have to fight for what He has already promised you. Rest in the assurance that He is faithful, and He will bring everything into your life at the right moment. So stop chasing, trust, walk in confidence, protect your heart, and let God bring the right love to you. The woman of God does not chase men because she knows that everything she needs is already within her, and God will provide the rest. I want you to take a moment and think about this. Do you truly understand your worth? Not just what others say about you or what society tells you to be, but your true God-given worth. A woman who knows her worth doesn't measure it by the attention she receives or the approval she seeks from others. Her worth is not something that is given or taken away based on someone's affection. It is rooted deeply in the truth that she is chosen, loved, and valued by the Creator of the universe. You see, in a world that often defines a woman by the relationships she keeps or the validation she gets from others, it's easy to lose sight of this truth. You can be caught in a cycle of seeking attention, trying to prove your value, and chasing after things or people that were never meant for you. But here's the reality: you are already enough. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. When you are secure in your worth, you stop chasing things that aren't aligned with who God has called you to be. You stop looking for external validation because you've already received the highest validation possible from God Himself. He created you with purpose. He designed every detail of your being, every characteristic that makes you unique, and He calls you His masterpiece. You are not defined by the labels others put on you, nor are you confined to the standards the world sets. You are defined by the love of God, and His love is constant. His love is not fickle. It doesn't change depending on how many likes you get, how many people notice you, or how many people are interested in your story. It is rooted in something much deeper. It is an unshakable truth that you are loved, you are valuable, and you are worthy, not because of what you can do, but because of who you are in Christ. When you truly understand your worth, you begin to carry yourself differently. You begin to recognize that the right relationships, the right opportunities, the right blessings will come, not because you chased them, but because you believed in who you were created to be. You begin to attract the things that align with your purpose, and when that happens, there's no need for chasing. You stand firm knowing that what is meant for you will find you in God's time. Understanding your worth allows you to stand tall, to say, I am enough, and to let everything else fall into place. This is how a woman of God walks, rooted, grounded, and confident in who she is. A woman of God understands that her identity is not found in what the world says about her, but in who God says she is. She doesn't look to the opinions of others or the fleeting praise of the world to define her. Instead, she looks to the one who created her, the one who knows her deepest thoughts, her struggles, her dreams, and her purpose. When you truly understand your identity in Christ, everything changes. You stop trying to fit into molds that were never made for you, and you begin to embrace the unique, beautiful person that God has designed you to be. In a world that is constantly trying to tell you who you should be, a woman of God has the courage to stand firm in the truth of who she is. She knows that her worth is not determined by her appearance, her achievements, or her relationships. It's determined by the simple fact that she is God's beloved. He chose her, He called her, and He created her in His image. That is where her identity lies. When you understand this truth, you stop looking for validation outside of yourself. You begin to see yourself through God's eyes, not as someone to be fixed or improved, but as someone who is already whole, beautiful, and loved. The world will try to tell you that your value is in your success, your social media following, or how much attention you can get from others. But a woman of God knows that none of these things can ever measure her true worth. Her identity is secure, not in anything temporary, but in the eternal love of God. When you understand your identity in Christ, you no longer feel the need to prove yourself to anyone. You no longer seek approval because you already have the approval of the one who matters most. You are free to be yourself unapologetically, confidently, and fully. A woman who understands her identity walks differently. She moves through life with a sense of purpose, knowing that she has been uniquely equipped for the calling God has placed on her life. She doesn't compare herself to others because she knows that she is exactly who she is supposed to be. She embraces her strengths and her weaknesses, knowing that both are part of her divine design. And because of this, she is able to walk with confidence, knowing that she is exactly where she is meant to be, doing exactly what she is meant to do. When a woman understands her identity, she carries herself with a quiet strength that is rooted in God's truth. She doesn't need to chase after approval or external validation because she knows that she is already complete. She understands that her identity is a gift from God, and she walks in that gift every single day. The world may try to tell her who she should be, but she knows that she has already been made perfectly, exactly as God intended. And that is the foundation upon which she stands. God's timing is perfect. There's a beautiful, undeniable truth in that statement. His timing is never late, never early, but always exactly what we need. When we are in the midst of waiting, it can feel as though time is dragging, and we wonder why things aren't moving faster. We question why the prayers haven't been answered, why the promises haven't been fulfilled. But the truth is, God's timing is not bound by our impatience or our desires. It is bound by His perfect plan for our lives. A woman of God understands that timing is everything. She knows that she doesn't need to rush, doesn't need to make things happen on her own. God is never in a hurry, and neither should she be. It's easy to become frustrated when things don't happen on our timeline, but a woman who trusts in God's timing has peace in the waiting. She knows that God is working in the background, aligning everything perfectly so that the right opportunities, relationships, and breakthroughs come at exactly the right time. Sometimes we feel as though we've been waiting forever. We've prayed, we've hoped, and we've worked hard. But God's timing is not a delay, it's a divine preparation. While we wait, He is preparing us, refining us, and building our faith. The waiting isn't wasted, it's part of the process. A woman of God understands this. She understands that the delays aren't detours, they are part of the bigger picture God is painting for her life. Every season, every step, every pause is part of a masterpiece being created. There is a wisdom in the waiting. A woman who trusts in God's timing knows that when something is meant for her, it will come at the right time. Nothing can delay it, and nothing can take it away. She doesn't chase after things that are out of season for her because she knows that what is meant for her will always find its way to her no matter what. She believes that God knows exactly what she needs and when she needs it and when she needs it, and that nothing is outside of His control. What often seems like a setback is actually God preparing you for something greater. A woman of God recognizes that the delays, the unanswered prayers, the moments when it feels like life is at a standstill are not moments of defeat. They are moments of growth, moments when God is getting her ready for the doors He will open at just the right time. She trusts that His plan is greater than anything she could imagine, and she believes that when the time is right, everything will fall into place. She walks in confidence, not neediness. There is a world of difference between the two, and a woman who understands her worth and her identity in Christ walks with the kind of confidence that comes from within. She doesn't look to others to validate her. She doesn't wait for someone else's approval to know that she is enough. Her confidence isn't built on the opinions of others or on external circumstances. It's rooted deeply in the truth that she is already whole, already loved, and already enough as she is. A woman who walks in confidence understands that she doesn't have to chase after anything or anyone to feel fulfilled. She knows that the only validation she needs is from the one who created her. When you walk in confidence, you don't live from a place of lack or neediness. You aren't constantly searching for someone to fill the void or to make you feel worthy. You stand firm in who you are, knowing that God has already filled you with everything you need. You are not defined by the love, attention, or affirmation you receive from others. You are defined by the love that has already been poured into you, the love that will never fail you. Neediness comes from a place of insecurity, a place where you feel like you are lacking something, as if your value depends on someone else's actions. But a woman who walks in confidence is rooted in the belief that she is complete. She knows that she doesn't need to beg for attention or chase after validation because her worth doesn't fluctuate based on others' actions. She doesn't need to seek approval or try to prove herself. She has nothing to prove because she knows she is already enough. This kind of confidence is quiet yet powerful. It's not loud or brash, nor does it seek to draw attention to itself. It simply is. It is the confidence of knowing that you are a daughter of the King and that everything you need has already been given to you. It is the confidence that comes from understanding your worth and your purpose. When you walk in confidence, you carry yourself with dignity, knowing that you have a divine calling, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and that there is no one like you. Confidence doesn't mean you're perfect. It doesn't mean you never struggle or have doubts. It simply means that even in the midst of challenges, you know that you are secure. You know that you are worthy of respect, love, and honor, not because of what you've done, but because of who you are. Confidence means you understand your value and live in that truth no matter what life throws your way. It means you hold your head high, not because you are superior to anyone else, but because you know you are a beloved child of God, uniquely designed and equipped for the purpose He has for you. True love finds you, not the other way around. I know the world tells us we have to chase love, seek it out, and do everything in our power to make ourselves worthy of it. We've been conditioned to believe that if we just try hard enough, put ourselves out there enough, or become the perfect version of ourselves, love will finally come. But true love doesn't work that way. True love isn't something you have to hunt for or force into existence. It isn't something you have to chase after, wear yourself thin, or beg for. True love finds you when you least expect it, when you're living in alignment with who you are and who God has called you to be. A woman who understands this truth knows that she doesn't need to run after love. She knows that when the time is right and when she is ready, love will come. Not just any love, but the love that is meant for her, the kind of love that compliments her, lifts her up, and strengthens her walk with God. When you stop looking for love in all the wrong places and stop chasing after fleeting relationships, you open yourself to receiving the love that is meant for you, the love that is rooted in truth, respect, and divine purpose. The most powerful thing a woman can do is become the woman who attracts the right kind of love, not by seeking it out, but by becoming the best version of herself. A woman who knows her worth, understands her purpose, and walks confidently in her identity will naturally attract the right kind of love. She's not seeking to be validated by someone else, nor is she trying to fit herself into someone else's idea of what love should be. Instead, she becomes whole, fully herself, and in doing so, she opens the door for love to find her in its perfect timing. When you live your life fully, not waiting for someone else to complete you, but embracing your own journey, you begin to radiate a kind of energy that draws the right people to you. You are not desperate for love because you are already filled with God's love, and that love is what makes you complete. The love that finds you is not born from loneliness or desperation. It is born from your peace, your contentment, and your ability to stand firm in your own identity and purpose. Love will find you when you are ready to receive it, and when you do, it will be everything you've been waiting for. A woman of God guards her heart because she understands that her heart is a sacred place, a place where her dreams, her purpose, and her identity are nurtured. She knows that the things she allows to enter her heart shape her thoughts, her actions, and the way she interacts with the world. A woman of God doesn't let just anything into her heart. She is selective about what she allows to influence her because she recognizes that her heart is the wellspring of her life. It's from the heart that everything flows: her peace, her joy, her strength, and her clarity of purpose. Therefore, she guards it with intention, with wisdom, and with prayer. Guarding your heart doesn't mean closing yourself off from the world. It means protecting the most valuable part of yourself from things that seek to rob you of your peace, your joy, and your sense of identity. A woman of God is discerning. She knows that not everything and not everyone is meant to be a part of her journey. She chooses carefully the people she allows into her inner circle, the thoughts she allows to occupy her mind, and the emotions she allows to guide her actions. She understands that everything she allows to take root in her heart will grow, and she is committed to ensuring that what grows there is beautiful, pure, and aligned with God's will. A woman who guards her heart doesn't allow bitterness, anger, or unforgiveness to take root. She knows that these things will only poison her spirit and prevent her from walking in the fullness of God's peace. She is quick to forgive, quick to let go of offenses, because she knows that holding on to negative emotions will only create walls between her and the love, joy, and peace God desires for her. She understands that guarding her heart means protecting it from the things that would harden it, leaving no space for the love of God to flow freely in her life. She also guards her heart from negativity, whether that comes from others or from within. She doesn't allow the world's criticism, judgment, or negativity to dictate how she sees herself or how she moves forward. A woman of God is rooted in the truth of who God says she is, and no one else's opinion can change that. She guards her heart from self-doubt and insecurity because she knows that God created her with a purpose and a plan. She won't let anyone or anything steal that truth from her. Guarding her heart means a woman of God also protects the dreams and desires God has placed in her. She doesn't let fear, discouragement, or criticism from others cause her to abandon the vision God has given her. She nurtures her dreams with prayer, with faith, and with action, knowing that as long as she holds her heart in alignment with God's will, He will bring those dreams to fruition in His perfect time. In conclusion, a woman of God is not just someone who walks with faith, but someone who walks with purpose, wisdom, and intention. She understands that her worth is not determined by the opinions of others, but by the love and purpose that God has placed within her. She knows that true love finds her when she is whole and she walks in confidence, not neediness. She guards her heart, protecting it from the things that would seek to steal her peace and joy. A woman of God knows that her journey is unique, and she trusts in God's timing and plan for her life. So to every woman here today, remember, you are a masterpiece created with intention and purpose. Walk with your head high, knowing that the love, strength, and wisdom you seek are already inside of you. Guard your heart, protect your peace, and trust that as you continue to walk in alignment with God's will, everything else will fall into place. True love, purpose, and fulfillment are not things you chase, they are gifts that will find you when you stand firm in your identity as a woman of God.